Hello and welcome everyone to another Northgard video on this channel. In the last time a lot of people have asked me if I could do an update video for my which clan should I play video that I made a few years ago. In this video I covered the different strengths and weaknesses of the clans and which clans you should go for with which preparations you like in an RTS game. But because of all those updates that happened in those time and a lot of clans that were introduced into Northgard, there were a few things that changed in this game. If you are new to the game or you're yet looking for a clan that you want to go for in Northgard, this should be the right video for you. I'm gonna try to focus on the most important facts about the clans to not make this too long of a video and hope that I can help you with your clan choice in Northgard. So here we are on the clan choice screen. Here we can already see that we have 4 new clans joining into the Northgard since I made the last video right here, so it's really about time to make an update right here. But since we are starting out with the video, let's just start at the top with the clan of the Stag. At the start of the game, the Stag Clan will start with plus 70 food, wood and gold, and it will be able to build the Hall of Skulls instead of the brewery, what is basically the same thing other than the skulls will also be able to produce other things than happiness, for example fame from default, and if you go for a specialized lore they will also produce gold for you. After you reach your fame you will get an additional 150 food, wood and gold, and on top of that you will actually get 10 additional stone that will help you quite a bit with your upgrades. And after you manage to reach your Yal, you will be getting a 10% bonus on all your upgraded buildings, what is quite a bit and can really help to boost the Stag Clan's economy up. So if you're anything like me, the Stag Clan should make a great beginner clan for you, because you're basically just getting bonus resources on top of the normal ones that will help you a little bit, and later on the 10% production bonus can really help you to get a good late game economy, so the Stag Clan can really thrive in all situations of the game. I also really like to play Stag Clan rushes, that should also be possible, so a really versatile clan there, what I think is a good clan for beginners. I think the Stag Clan has definitely a strong position in team games, even though that the repop potential of the clan is not that strong right now. That is why a lot of players don't really like it in team games. I think it's a good clan, I really like to play it in team games, but I don't think it's one of the most chosen ones, but it's definitely strong enough to carry its weight in a team game. And also in duels and free-for-alls, I see the Stag Clan as a strong clan because it has a good late game potential. It can also get up army at a quite early point, so like I said before, a quite versatile clan there that you can do a lot of things with. So I think it has definitely a spot in all those meters. While not a really strong spot, it will not be one of the strongest clans, but it will also not be one of the weakest clans, definitely. The win conditions for the Stag Clan are actually quite open. Like, you could win a game with domination, because the Stag Clan has a strong economy, can therefore get a good amount of army out, so a domination win is always something you can go for. A fame win is also possible with the Stag Clan. You can also try to go for a trade win with them, so I would definitely say that the Stag Clan has basically always open beside of the lore one, because the Stag Clan shouldn't really be one of the strongest clans to get a lore win, because it doesn't really go too much into sailors, for example, because it doesn't get the shipbuilding, and shouldn't be one of the clans you should go for with lore, while it can still be possible, but it's definitely not meant to do it with it. The relic that got implemented for the Stag Clan is called Hills Skjav. Your war chief gets the annexation ability. Whenever your war chief decolonizes a zone, you colonize it for free. And I think that's a really underrated relic. It's really hard in team games, for example, to go for a relic actually, but if you can manage to lock this relic down and actually pressure your opponent and actually take tiles away from him, it will open quite a lot of strategical options for you. And yeah, not only that you can heal just in the front line, just in front of your enemies, but also destroy the buildings of your enemies right away. So it's a strong relic, but I would really go for if you have the chance for it. So these were my thoughts about the Stag Clan right here. Let's now jump right into the next one, that will be the Goat Clan. The starting bonuses of the Sheep Clan is that it starts with a sheep, and you will be able to build the sheepfold to actually get permanent food production out of those sheep. So if you're playing with a Sheep Clan player, you definitely want to give him yours, because yeah, it should help him quite a bit to get a really good economy, and he doesn't just get a one-time boost out of them. Also, the production bonus out of feasts will be increased by 20% for the Goat Clan. So if you have a Goat Clan player in your team in a team game, you should really let him do the feasts, because he will get a little bit more bonus out of that, and that's basically what we all want, right? Something else I can tell you is that you will always start your game with 3 guaranteed sheep. So at the start of the game you will have 1 sheep in your starting tile, and in the surrounding tiles there will be at least 2 more sheep for you to start the game with. So you can always have 3 guaranteed sheeps with the sheep clan. You can also go for the shepherd lore, that will give you 2 additional ones, so you will have then at least 5 sheep for the goat clan, what is already good to make a game happen. But if you can find some bonus ones, or your teammates can actually give you some over, that's always a nice thing to have. After the fame is reached for the goat clan, it will get free upgrades for all its food jobs, and it will actually be forged double as fast as a normal upgrade right there. What doesn't actually make that much sense with the goat clan, to be honest, because you won't really be using that, because you have your sheep that will produce your food right there, and most of your villagers will be doing other jobs than actual food jobs, so doesn't really make too much sense. I wouldn't really recommend to rushing down the 200 route with the goat clan, but at the 500 fame it gets really interesting, because if you're able to reach the Jarl right there, you will gain 1 free feast per year at the moment you reach the Jarl, and your defense towers at all your military units gain plus 20% resistance in fights, and that can help you quite a bit. Of course, this bonus is only applying when you're actually feasting, so it won't really help you that often, but if you can manage to have a feast just in the moment you fight, it can really help you out and can make the goat army sustain quite a bit of damage. I think that the goat clan rather thrives in a slower playstyle, because it can definitely reach a point where it is kind of unstoppable. While this is not really true, a lot of clans have really strong points that could definitely stop the goat clan at its peak, but it should really thrive in this later game situations when it can really get a lot out of the sheeps. But those sheeps are also already there in the early game and can therefore also make the goat clan a quite potent rush clan. So I think the goat clan is also quite versatile right there, and in my opinion one of the best starter clans, because those sheep can just really help you out to not think too much about your food economy and rather focus on the other parts of Northgard. If you then jump into other clans, it might seem a little bit weird, because your food economy is just not gonna be as strong as with the goat clan. But for the start of the game, and if you're especially having problems with keeping the food up in the winter and having a lot of starving villagers, the goat clan should be really your clan to go for, to just start out a little bit into the game and get the food problems in a little bit later with other clans. Since the goat clan is strong in basically all situations, it of course applies to all types of games. It can easily play team games very strong. You can play the goat clan without too much problems in a duel. It should easily work out. You can be very strong with the goat clan there. And in free-for-alls, of course, also the goat clan can be a really strong clan, even though that the amount of sheeps in duels and free-for-alls can be a bit limited, and you can have quite a low game with just having 3 sheeps right there without the shepherd lore. If you have this, of course, you will have the 5 sheep that can help you out quite a bit, but you don't have this huge potential you would have in a team game, of course. The win conditions for the goat clan are again fairly open, because it's a quite strong eco clan. You shouldn't have problem with going for a fame victory. You shouldn't have problems with going for a trade victory, and a domination victory with a strong economy that can also produce gold is of course also not too much of a problem. While I don't see the goat clan too much in the lore victory, even though it has the potential to just go for it in a free-for-all, for example, if you get 2 circles, you can easily lock down the lore victory also with the goat clan. But just in general, I think it has no special tools that makes it better at winning a lore game, so it should really go for it in my opinion, while it should still be possible and it's not something that's completely out of the box. The relic for the goat clan is called Gnefun's Jar, and you can summon new villagers for food depending on your population. They will arrive to your town hall by boats. Sometimes sheep can replace 1 villager. Required happiness for your population is reduced. So that helps quite a bit. You can get new villagers out of there, but actually the one that you're gonna see a lot more often from the goat clan is the feast relic, of course, because it will get even more bonus onto the goat clan feast. And you might actually also see this one in team games, even though it's always quite dangerous to go for relics right there, but it's yet that strong that it might actually pay out for your team. Now we have covered 2 rather more eco-heavy clans. Let's now jump into the wolf clan to look at the complete opposite. The wolf clan is definitely one of the more aggressive clans in Northgard and will really thrive from attacking your enemy and really pressuring bring them down. The starting bonuses for it will be that you will get food out of killing wolves and bears. Lore later on will also get you gold out of killing other creatures or units from other players. Your military units will also consume 30% less food and will provide you happiness. Therefore the Wolf Clan doesn't really need to build the brewery. It yet can. For late game builds it might actually be needed right there, but for the normal team game build that is more aggressive for the Wolf Clan, you really don't need to build the brewery and you can rather thrive from a big army there. Even though that when you lose that army you will have a really hard time to get those happiness back and those villagers back. If you have no military units, your first one will also actually be free, so that opens up quite a few interesting ways for early clearing, while most of the players yet go with the double warrior clearing. If you reach your fane with the Wolf Clan, your berserker will be able to colonize cleared areas for free, I think every year, and the berserker is the war chief for the Wolf Clan, so it's a little bit stronger war chief, to underestimate that a little bit. It's really strong, it has less life, but it can really hit hard and help you quite a bit to clear out the tiles around you. Maybe even with a shield bearer in front to tank a little bit of that damage. There's a lot of creativity with the Wolf Clan, what I really like. And yeah, you should really be roaming all the time with your units and try to get as much resources out of the map as you can. When you're actually able to reach the 500 fame with the Wolf Clan, what I can tell you right here will not happen really often. Your military units will get a 15% attack bonus when they are fighting outside of your territory, and your berserker's dominion cooldown is reduced by 50%, what is quite interesting. But like I said, you're not gonna hit this 500 fame mark that often, because usually you will be looking to already be aggressive before and not really look out to upgrade your economy and do those things that will actually get you fame. Maybe you can sometimes reach it with killing a few other players in a free-for-all, or even in a team game, or killing neutral factions to get a good fame bonus. So as we covered already, the playstyle of the wolf is really straightforward. You can also get gold out of killing villagers and units of your opponents, so even more of a reason to attack them quite early in the game and try to get the pressure to them. That makes the Wolf Clan really versatile for a team game. I also like the Wolf Clan in duels quite a bit, because it can apply quite a lot of pressure to the one only player that will be on the map right there, so it should be really effective. In free-for-alls, I personally have my problems to find enough creatures to actually have a good gold amount with the Wolf Clan. While it should also be a strong clan there, if you just get early aggression going and can really delete a player early on from the map, you may even be able to get a lot of gold for him and just keep the snowball running and delete all the players off the map. But I wouldn't say it's the most suited clan for free-for-all, because it doesn't really have this equal potential. Well, you can always prove me wrong and get a strong eco with the Wolf Clan there, and maybe even win the game with having a stronger eco to the other players if they fought against each other. But if it's just an eco duel and nobody attacks each other, usually the eco clans should really out-resource you quite heavily and beat you in that game, so it's really your job to bring the aggression to them and yeah, mess their game up. The win conditions for the Wolf Clan is really mostly the domination win condition. You might actually be able to lock down a few other win conditions with the Wolf Clan, but I think mostly also if you want to go for another win condition, you will most likely do that with another clan and rather defend that clan with the Wolf Clan then, and not actually go for the win condition with the Wolf Clan there. Relic for the Wolf Clan is a quite interesting one, because it's the Horn of Managar, and it summons up to 3 white wolves under your control that will basically behave like skirmishes. They can run through other tiles where are creatures in there, so you can really roam around the map and annoy enemies in a team game, or yeah, really get good aggression on your opponent in a duel. So I think it's a really strong relic with quite a bit of potential, and yeah, see it a lot oftener right now in team games, and I really like it quite a bit. With this word about the Wolf Clan, let's jump into the Raven Clan right here. A community favorite, I would almost say. Starting bonuses for the Raven Clan will be that you can colonize with krones instead of food, what is quite strong if you can fight an early ruin at the start of the game. You can build the harbor to explore coastal areas and later send mercenaries to attack. The harbor will also be 10 wood cheaper than the dock, so yeah, also something to note down. And also get 10% krones from merchants and sailors. A really good gold producing clan that will most likely concentrate on sailors if you get enough coast there, because you will also be able to explore other areas from your docks, and you will also only need to pay 10 gold for that, and then your sailors will slowly explore a new area around the map map that really makes the Raven a strong scouting clan. Also the later on the Rangers on the lore tree makes the Raven really the designated scouter in a game. So if you have a Raven in a team game, usually it will be the one scouting because it's just so good at that. It's also a very versatile clan that can get very strong in the late game, but can also be very strong in the early game. When you reach your fame with the Raven clan, you will get 3 additional villagers, 3 additional max population, and 1 happiness to help you out there a little bit. At 500 fame, you will get the infamous mercenaries at your harbor. You can send them for 200 gold to the coastal areas of your opponents. You might have already fought against those and yeah, had a Raven into your game. I don't really use them that much anymore because oftentimes when the players already got up their towers, you shouldn't really do too much damage anymore, but they are definitely good situations where you can make use of that. You may also get a little bit of bonus stone by raiding a stone child, or really try to get your opponent out of his game style with really early raiding right there, what will require you to rush down the 500 fame quite quickly. Also, you will be able to assign 1 more sailor to the harbor, what gives 1 more point to the sailors for the Raven clan. So if you have the chance for it, I would really recommend to go for the sailors instead of the merchants with the Raven clan, upgrade them and really have a good game with those. Since the Raven clan is so versatile, I really see him in all game modes. I think he can be strong in team games, it can be strong in duels, it can also be strong in free-for-all, so not a lot of words to lose there. The win conditions for the Raven clan just as open because it has the ability to colonize zones with gold instead of food. Because I don't think the Raven clan is that strong of a food producer. No really bony for the Raven clan right there. But since you can colonize areas with gold, the Fame win should be open for you. The lore win obviously is open for you because you have a lot of sailors already producing lore. The domination win is of course a possibility because you can easily get a lot of armies. So I really see the Raven clan basically everywhere if it's not something that it needs a lot of food for. The relic for the Raven clan is Naglfar. It sends a raid to a coastal tile with 2 Sons of Hrumurs, and that will not actually require you to be on 500 fame, what I still don't really know if that's right, because rushing this down and raiding your opponent early with that can oftentimes end just an ended game if your opponent weren't fast enough with his tower, because then it should actually get kinda easy to get one of the giants to follow one of your villagers and shabay them around your town hall and then actually get them down, and you will have a lot of resources put into those giants. But other than that, it's yet a pretty fun and strong lore. Also, when you get attacked by your opponents, you can send this raid just in a moment over to them and get a lot of pressure onto them, so it's a fun relic. In general, a really fun clan that I would really recommend to try out. Since we're done with the Raven right here, let's jump into the Boar Clan. And since we're talking about the Boar Clan right here, I'm just gonna let appear Kaja really quick. The starting bonuses of the Boar Clan is that it will have 30% reduced penalty of food and firewood production in the winter, and you will be able to summon Kaja the bear just like I did right here. It will just cost you 40 gold and your training camp, and it should help you quite a bit in your early clearing to have this bear in your front line. Also, instead of having reduced power in the winter, you will have plus 10% defense in the winter, what makes you the perfect winter fighters. So if you can force a fight in the winter against your opponents, that should always benefit you quite a bit, because they have the potential to not have fur coats, therefore having reduced fighting power in the winter, and you are actually having the improved ones, so you don't even need any upgrades for that. You don't need to go for fur coats or anything. You will just in general have this upgrade right there, and this is really juicy actually. When you reach the Fane with the Boar Clan, your Armored Bear and Shield Maiden will give a 15% production bonus to the zone that they are just standing on. And this is usually where the Boar Clan really thrives. So I usually like to have a designated food tile and a designated trading tile where I try to get as many eco buildings in as I can. And there I have then always my Bear and Shield Maiden standing to just give me this 50% bonus as long as I can. And in case that there's no other clan in your team that has maybe a little bit stronger Fane bonus, like for example the Stag Clan, I would say that the Boar Clan is actually one of the clans that wants the middle the most. At the Jarl, you will get plus 3 fame for every enemy unit killed in the same tile as your Shield Maiden is just standing in. It is not really too useful if you're not really going for the fame victory right then. If you are going for it, it can actually be quite strong. Also, your military units will gain plus 1% power for every 100 fame you have, and Kaja the Armored Bear is now able to enter enemy territory. that can help you out quite a bit, because it's just one more very tanky unit that you may use to tank a little bit of tower fire right there or something else. So through the Armored Bear, the Bear Clan is always a very nice clan to have in a team game, because it can help quite a bit to maybe clear out just that little bit more than your opponent were able to do, because it didn't have the Armored Bear right there on their side. So alone for that, the Bear Clan is already a quite cool choice for a team game. Other than that, it's of course a really strong clan that can do quite a bit army wise and usually pushes out a good amount of shield bearers, while you may also gonna go for other military units right there, but the shield bearers are definitely the default choice for the bear. It is able to dish out the fast attack in a rush strategy, but it is also able to get a quite good economy up, and with the bonus you can get out of the bear and the shield maiden right there, can be a really strong late game clan. Even though that I think that it's not quite there with the goat, raven and dragon clan that can really reach insane eco states, but the bear clan is definitely a very capable late game clan, and it can be able to also beat those clans in a late game fight. So even in duels and free-for-alls I see a bright future for the bear clan. Even though that it might not be one of the top tier clans right there, it's yet a very strong clan that you can have really good games with. The win conditions there for the bear clan are also fairly open, because I can see the bear clan going into sailors. I would also see him at the lore win. A fame win is maybe not all too easy to reach, because I don't really know how you get this amount of food, but it is certainly possible. You can just upgrade a second food tile, for example, and put your maiden on a second food tile, and you will have a good amount of food going for you, so the fame win should also be a possibility. So bear clan, again, one of the clans where I would say basically all of your ways are open, and yeah, be creative about it, and you should also be able to get one of the other win conditions. The relic for the bear clan is called the Sword of Didos. No, it's actually called the Scabbard of Gram, and your war chief will be wielding the Sword of Gram. Enemies hit by this will be frozen along with the area around them, and with a quite neat graphical effect right there that some players don't really seem to be able to load, and therefore resulting in quite huge lag spikes on the servers right there. It got better and better with time. I yet really like the relic. It's a really cool one and quite a versatile one. I really enjoy this, and of course it also looks really cool. So one of my favorite relics, definitely. Yeah, if it's working perfectly, I will definitely go quite often for them. But with that, let's jump into the next clan, what will be the clan of the Boar. So the Boar Clan might even be more of a community favorite than the Raven Clan, to be honest, because of a lot of players who really like to play the Boar Clan there. There are also a lot of streamers, like for example James FAL, that play a lot of Boar Clan and are really good with it. So yeah, definitely a community favorite right there. Let's start with the starting bonuses here. You will be able to place a Mender's Hut instead of a Healer's Hut. And Menders, when they are not healing, will produce lore for you. Not really my go-to there for lore production, because yeah, lore masters will yet be way more stronger, but it is a possibility right there. Also, each additional territory gives you 2 max population, what will not let you build the starting house with the boar. So when you start a game, you don't really need to build a house right away, and you will also get no happiness penalties for having no upgraded houses. So for the Boar Clan, you really don't need that many houses. Only a few, and those don't even need to be upgraded right there, even though that I don't upgrade a house with every clan every game, but the Boar Clan definitely has no use for that. The fame bonus will be that you will get 1 free knowledge that will not count towards your lore victory or blessing unlock, so you will not get your Yord's blessing or Flayer's blessing any quicker, or your lore win any quicker, but you can go down the path a little bit quicker and reach other lores a little bit faster with this. At the Jarl bonus, you will get the greater blessings that will really help you out, because your winter penalty is now massively reduced with 70% for food and 30 for wood. Your Baldur's blessing will now give you +5 happiness instead of +2, what is also a nice jump right there. And Yord's blessing will give your war chief and your upgraded towers +10% attack. These are all quite interesting things that can really boost up your game there a little bit. And the most important thing for the Boar Clan, I think, is actually the lore tree that we can see right here. But the first two, not the first two, the second lore and the third lore on the lowest tree of the Boar Clan are the most interesting things about this clan, in my opinion. Because the simple living will enable you to build buildings at 50% of their wood cost pretty early into the game, so this makes it Boar Clan pretty strong. And the handiwork that just comes right after will give you plus 15% production bonus for your unupgraded buildings. So the Boar Clan in the early game has a really high potential to get a good eco even without going for stone. A personal favorite of me is of course also to build an early altar with the Boar Clan and make use of the legacy lore that will give you the double production out of this Altar of Kings. It can really boost your game at the early time, but it's also a pretty high investment at an early time of the game that can result in the enemy team just rushing you down and trying to just punish you for having paid that much gold that early of the game. But I yet think the Boar Clan is a pretty strong clan in team games, and I also see him quite good in duels and free-for-alls, even though it can be quite hard in duels, I think, because the other clans may just be that little bit stronger as the Boar Clan in my opinion, while a good Boar Clan player will definitely prove me wrong and show that the Boar Clan is definitely capable to play in duels, but I don't really see it at the top tier list of the clans again. The win conditions for the Boar Clan are quite interesting. You can actually try to go for a fame win because the Altar of Kings may already be built for you. I just see a little bit of a problem to actually get the required fame you will need for this. There may be a possibility with your sailors or just going for a lot of areas or clearing a lot of neutrals out. There may actually be some way for you, but I don't think it's the main win condition here for the Boar Clan. The main win condition might also be again the domination win because it's definitely able to get a lot of army out. But also the wisdom victory for the Boar Clan is definitely a possibility, even though that the wisdom victory is not that easy to reach anymore, but it's definitely a possibility for the Boar Clan. And also the trade victory should be possible for it, even though that it's not really meant for it, I would say. The relic for the Boar Clan will be the Mask of Gullion Bursty that will reveal all forests and summon a non-controllable giant boar in all forests. Boars in allied territory are pacified. You can sacrifice boar in your territory for food, and actually quite a lot of food. I think it were 500 if I'm not wrong. Relic really pays out if you have a lot of forests and maybe are actually in a team game to get a lot of food out of this relic. But if there are not a lot of forests around the map, I would definitely not go for this relic and rather put the time into something else or into another relic. By the way, I forgot to say that I think the Boar Clan is also one of the clans that can definitely be very quick about his attack, but also have a quite strong economy. While I also think it will be outrun by the eco clans in the later stages of the game, but in the early stages of the game I really think that through the simple living and the handiwork, the Boar Clan must be one of the strongest clans, to be honest, even though that it's not as straightforward as the Wolf Clan or the Snake Clan, but it can really do things in offensive gameplay and can really get a lot of army up at early points of the game. With that, I want to jump into the Snake Clan that we just heard about. The Snake Clan is definitely one of the clans that thrives in aggression just like the Wolf Clan, so it really likes to be in the front at the opponents and really messing up their game. Starting bonuses will that the clan will be starting with Signy, the war chief, that will get stronger with every year. So to just jump a little bit around here, we're gonna go into the age 16 where Signy will move faster and can now attack at range. It will be the second year for the Snake Clan. At age 18 she will get the Scorched Earth effect that will enable her to burn any area during 3 months, so it has a 3 months cooldown also, and in the burn zone you will get a minus 15% production debuff, and snake units will get a plus 50% attack bonus, what is quite interesting. So after you can reach the 3rd year, you can really decide where you want to fight, because you can oftentimes just force an opponent to attack an opposite tile than the tile that uses Scorched Earth, because he cannot take the fight on this tile. Also, you will need no iron to summon Signy, so that will help you quite a bit in case you lose her. And the clan doesn't have any access to fame, so obviously there's no fame win possible for the Snake Clan, but it doesn't really need that also. The Snake Clan definitely has a place in team games and can be used to really annoy your opponents and try to get them out of their comfort zone. The lore of the guerrillian tactics that will give the Snake Clan up to 40% attack bonus by the number of enemy civilian units they killed. The Snake Clan can get a real late game powerhouse with that, even though that can also reach in the mid game. It really only depends how many civilians the Snake Clan is able to kill in that time. The clan has also a special relationship to skirmishers and will therefore oftentimes go for them, because it can get food and happiness out of setting other clans under pressure, thereby just setting a military unit right next to their territory or in their territory, and it will therefore be able to just walk very freely about the map because it doesn't really need to clear out too much stuff. As Signy will also be able to walk just like the skirmishers in the 3rd year, even though that is a later time for the Snake Clan actually, because the Snake Clan really wants to attack as early as possible. In duels and free-for-all you will have a little bit of a problem with the Snake Clan if you don't really know what to do with it. There are definitely clear paths where you can win duels and free-for-alls with the Snake Clan. It can be a really strong clan then too, but if you're just trying to play a kind of standard build with the Snake Clan, I can definitely guarantee you that you're not gonna have a lot of success with it, and you should really get a little bit more experience with the Snake Clan right there, because I myself, I'm not a very strong Snake Clan player, I can definitely say that, and I would definitely struggle in duels or free-for-alls with the Snake Clan, but there are definitely players around that have the Snake Clan a lot better mastered than me and would say that the Snake Clan in duels and free-for-alls definitely also has a strong place and can be played at a quite high level there. The win condition for the Snake Clan is basically only domination. Like there might also be other win conditions that you can go for with the Snake Clan sometimes, but it really goes around the domination and attacking your opponent. The relic for the Snake Clan will be Gungir. It unlocks another military path once you have unlocked one. So on your upper tree, your last lure will actually enable you to steal a lure from another clan. So there are a lot of different lures from other clans rolled up there that you could choose from. For example, the field rations of the Wolf Clan or the legacy of the Boar Clan. A lot of interesting choices in there. And with this relic you will actually be able to go for another one, what is of course quite interesting. While the Snake Clan usually don't really has the economy to easily go for a relic and will usually just attack as soon as it can, but if you can go for it, it might actually be an interesting choice. Since we now heard a little bit about the Snake Clan, let's just jump right into the Dragon Clan right here. Dragon Clan is definitely one of the more complicated clans of Northgard, but definitely also one of the late game powerhouses of the game. So your starting bonuses will be that your civilians can go into neutral territory, so you can actually clear out tiles with your civilians. You will get no happiness or production penalty for wounded villagers, so it doesn't really matter to you if you wound a few villagers there while clearing it out. And you start with the sacrificial pyre. You can build a Dragonkin altar instead of military camps, but that will also mean that you cannot go for any other military unit than the Dragonkins right there. The Dragonkin is a quite strong unit with a high health pool, and when you upgrade it, it will actually get an AoE attack. But you gotta keep in mind that the Dragonkins are definitely a bit more expensive than a normal military unit, and you're usually not gonna get as big numbers of them as you would of warriors or other military units. You will start with 2 thralls and only 3 villagers, but you can buy new thralls from your longship docks. Those thralls will produce 50% of the resources a villager would produce for you, but will only consume 33% of the resources a villager would consume. So this is quite helpful. They are actually then a little bit more efficient than villagers, and that is why I usually go for sacrificing villagers in the sacrificial pyre and not thralls, and try to keep my thrall numbers as high as I can. I usually combine that with going for the upper tree and then having those thralls working in really valuable jobs for me to get as much bony out of them as I can. But with that, I'm of course always in danger to have a revolt in my town, because you gotta keep in mind, if your numbers of thralls gets higher than the number of villagers, you will have a revolt in your town and all your thralls will turn against you and start attacking. The Dragon Essence is also a quite important thing to talk about, because it can really get you really good bonuses there, but you should always watch out that you don't sacrifice too many villagers to go for a certain bonus, because sometimes the villager could have just helped you a little bit more. The Fame bonuses look like this for the Dragon Clan, because as Fame you will get 5 bonus thralls that will help you quite a bit, and your Dragon Essence gauge is extended and bonus are increased. So yeah, you can see a little bit more of the bar right there, so what will be coming in the future. And you will also get more bonus out of there. That will also even rise a little bit more when you reach the 500 fame bonus. And you will also get plus 10% attack power against an opponent for each victory condition in which they are ahead of you. So it can add up to be quite a bit right there, but usually it won't actually be that big. Like I said, the Dragon Clan is definitely one of the late game powerhouses, so when you can get that really big Dragonkin army up with the upgrade, it can be quite a deal to get those Dragonkins down, because the AoE attack can just delete so big armies right there, and you will just need to get the Dragonkins down as soon as possible. The best thing to go against these is, in my opinion, the X-Throws, because those cannot really be ganked up by those Dragonkins, and you will not have like a blob fight that you would have with warriors that go really to the advantage of the Dragonkins. Therefore, the Dragonkin is definitely a quite potent clan for team games, free-for-alls and duels. I don't think it's too much of a rush clan, even though you can get quite some Dragonkins also at an early point. I think it really thrives into going into the late game, having a really good economy and really dishing out those high numbers of Dragonkins into your opponent with the upgrade and really eating the units up with the AoE. The win conditions for the Dragon Clan are again quite open, I would say. I think you could also go for a lore win, even though it's also not one of the clans that is really meant to go for it. I would rather go with the Boar Clan or maybe even the Raven Clan, but it is strong enough, it has a strong eco, so it should actually be able to go for it. The trade victory and the fame victory are usually also possibilities for the Dragon Clan, so yeah, really versatile clan there with a really strong eco in the later stages of the game. The relic is the Skull of Hrungnir. It summons in Draugr Jötnun. Not actually too strong of a lore, to be honest. It's a lot of time to get a Draugr Jötnun. It is a strong unit. It will help you throughout the game. I'm just not 100% certain if it's worth to go for. The Dragon Clan has so many other directions to go for that can be really strong. I would maybe rather focus on those than getting the Draugr Jötnun right there. But if you want to go for it and you feel you have a strong use for it, it's definitely not a waste of your time. Let's get that check onto the Dragon Clan and right into the Horse Clan. Horse Clan is the only clan that has access to two different war chiefs. It is led by Brok and Etria. And also the economy of the Horse Clan completely circles around these two war chiefs. But let's just jump into the starting bonuses. You have two war chiefs who can be summoned from Völund's Forge. So your forge will be a specialized building just for the Horse Clan, where you can summon your war chiefs and also forge all of your stuff. Your war chief can mine and forge at plus 10% speed faster than a villager, so that will help you out a little bit right there. You don't have access to mines, miners or smiths, so you are actually forced to do all the things with your war chief. You don't have the choice to do it. That can slow down the horse at some degree, but it will also help you quite a bit, because you won't have miners or smiths working for you, and therefore you can set them into other jobs to help to boost your economy at another spot. Also, your villagers will have plus 25% building and repair speed, what I don't think is the strongest buff for a clan right there, but it's definitely helpful and should help you to save a little bit food here and there. So as a Boar Clan player, you definitely want to get your war chiefs working as soon as possible, and I usually like to go for the iron first and then set the war chiefs to upgrade the woodcutters jobs and maybe a food job around me, and usually then transition into merchants and also get the upgrade for them quite early. After that I go for the stone and then upgrade my buildings, and I definitely don't stall out any mining because of the lures that will be coming, because you will definitely want the excavation and the mining bonus for your war chiefs out of your lore tree, but I definitely wouldn't recommend to stall out your mining for that. At the fame bonus you will get a 5% bonus on your upgraded tools. That is why I like to go for the tool upgrades that quickly. And selling stones or iron earns you plus 20% crowns in comparison to other clans, and allies receive the double resource actually, so trading resources with the Horse Clan to another team member is very valuable and should be a good choice for you. At the Jarl mark you will get the Legacy of the Earth that will let you discover 2 stone and 2 iron deposits in your territory, while the iron deposits are only 5 iron and I think the stone deposits are only 10 iron, if I'm not mistaken. So they are not as big as your starting stone and irons, but they will be enough to boost you a little bit and also give you a little bit more out of the excavation and your mining bonus. The Horse Clan definitely needs a little bit of a moment to start its economy, but when it is at that point it can really dish out a lot of damage and a lot of gold. So I think the Horse Clan has a really good spot in the team game meta and can also really help out with the early war chiefs, even though it doesn't really want to, of course, because it will basically bottleneck the Horse Clan a little bit more in the late game. I also see this Horse Clan pretty strong in duels and free-for-alls because it has a really high potential to get a strong economy going. It just can be a little bit vulnerable in the early game. The win conditions should again be quite open for the Horse Clan because it is a really strong economy clan, so I definitely see it winning on fame. I could also see it winning on lore because the lore that you will be getting out of excavation and your mining bonus right there should really help you out to already get a good lore amount. And then it's basically just about going for the erudition and maybe building a few bonus stones. The trade wind should also be a possibility. Like I said, the strong eco, and the strong eco should always be able to go for a trade wind right there. The relic for the Horse Clan is Dance Life and Turfing. That will give your war chiefs plus 20% attack, plus 20% defense, plus 20% max life, and their mining and forging speed will be increased by plus 20%. It is a fairly strong relic that can really help you out through the game. I don't know if it's actually worth to rush it at the start of the game to give your war chiefs that little bit more of an edge. I would rather recommend to go for that a little bit later and rather take that attack, defense and the HP bonus in late game fights on your 2 war chiefs. So with that, we're actually through with the horse and we jump into the last clan, what will be the Kraken Clan. The newest clan that we cover right here that got into the game like a month ago. So I might actually get a few things wrong right here because the clan is actually quite fresh still. But I think that I already have a good idea about the clan and what it can do and what it certainly can't do. So the clan is again definitely a late game powerhouse that can get quite a big army out, but I think it can also be quite devastating in the mid game. I personally see a lot of problems in the early game for the Kraken Clan, or I might have not just found the right build for me yet. But if I needed to rush in 801 or 802 with the Kraken Clan in team games, I usually had a little bit of a struggle to get the right gold amount up. Let's just jump into the starting bonus to get a little bit better idea about the Kraken Clan. The colonization and building costs on non-coastal zones are 50% more expensive. You can also go against that with your special word abilities. One of those will be High Tide, that will cost you 300 word, and actually negate this bonus to help you out there a little bit. It will also negate the military bonus because all units attack is reduced by 30% in non-coastal zone. If you high tide that zone, it will not be like that, and you might actually also need to take that sometimes kind of in the front line, even though you can only use the high tide in an adjacent tile to your home tile. So you can't really just go to an opponent tile and just high tide it. You will need to have a tile right next to it. You can't build longship docks, so the trade victory is not available to you since you can't obviously build the trading post then. So this win condition is definitely out for the Kraken Clan. The fisherman's hut is also replaced by the fishery that can be used to get fish in lakes, but also out of the sea. So every coastal tile is basically a fish tile for the Kraken Clan. I think that's really cool because 2 coasts basically then mean you can completely commit into fishers without having to worry too much about if you actually find a little bit fish on the map. Also the brewery is replaced by the Herger to train female villager into Norn. The Norn produces happiness and word. The word you will be using to use your special abilities. What I already called for were the High Tide for 300 word. You can also for 100 word use the shallow waters that will give you an additional building spot on every coastal tile. While it doesn't need to be coastal, it just needs to be on a coast. So you don't need an actual beach where you could build a dock on. With 600 word you can train one of your Norns to become a Valkyrie, what is a pretty tanky unit. I think the Valkyries have 10 attack and 80 resistance, what is just as high as the resistance of the Jotun right there, just to have a little bit of imagination how much that actually is. With 1000 word you will be able to call in a ghost raid, what is basically a raid with spectral warriors. Exactly 5 spectral warriors will then attack an opponent at his shore right there. What can be quite frightening, while the spectral warriors are of course not doing that much of damage, and it will often not really result into killing the opponent, but it will oftentimes lose a lot of time and happiness. The most interesting thing about the clan is the lore that will actually reveal all neutral factions and give you +3 lore for every active trade route you have. Because since the clan can't build any docks, it will definitely have quite a lore problem, and this lore will help the clan to fix that problem and actually get a good lore production going. In combination with the fresh fish lore that will give you quite a high food production, I really like to trade away the food and maybe even go for the giant. Even though that I think if you trade the food with your teammates, you will of course get a higher rate out of that, you will get more gold out of that, and you will also help the people that you are just playing with. So definitely also a nice thing to do. At the Jarl bonus you will get 400 word. That will usually help me out to go right for the Valkyrie right there and do a little bit of trading at that time. At 500 fame you will get the Howl of the Sea Master. Military units killed in a neutral or enemy zone have a chance to become spectral warriors. I think the chance is actually 10% per death. joining your ranks under your orders. And yeah, this is quite interesting. The Spectral Warriors will come at full HP. You can use them to tank out a few towers or just get the happiness of your opponent a little bit lower. It's a very interesting 500 fame bonus, and it can be really strong in the late game. So the Kraken Clan can be really strong in team games where it gets a little bit of time to build up the food economy and build up the trade to its teammates, and therefore really helping out the teammates and getting a good lore economy for itself. I see a few problems with the Kraken Clan when it actually gets attacked in the second year, but I don't know how often that might actually be happening and if there are actually strategies where you can get a little bit more gold with the Kraken Clan earlier. Duels and free-for-alls, I think it's kinda hard to say right now. In free-for-alls I definitely see a spot for the Kraken Clan because it can get really strong in the late game. In duels, I don't know how you are gonna play around the military debuff of -30% while fighting on a non-coastal zone. It might actually be quite hard in a duel against one other player that might actually force you to fight on one of those tiles, and you might actually not have the choice to not go for this fight. So it can be quite rough in my opinion to play this clan in a duel, while there might be actually a way to make it work right there. The win conditions for the Kraken Clan are a quite interesting question, because I think it can be going for the lore win. It is not really that quick if you only do it over trade routes, so you will definitely need to also build a few stones here and there, but I don't think that's actually the thing you want to do with the Kraken Clan. I also don't really see it in the fame victory, to be honest, and like we saw it before, it can't actually go for the trade victory. So I really see the Kraken Clan thriving in the domination victory, and to be fair, I would say the mid-game domination win, because it can really get scary armies up at 802 or 803, but I really see a few problems in 801 if it gets pressured by a wolf, for example. But if the teammates can help the Kraken Clan out to get to that certain spot where it can really dish out a lot of damage, I think the Kraken Clan is a really strong choice. The relic for the Kraken Clan will be the Edda of War. You gain 1000 vert and your Norns will now also produce fame for you. So Norns are pretty much of multitaskers right there, then producing happiness, word and fame for you. I don't think it's all too strong, because I don't really see the Kraken winning a fame victory, because it should get quite hard to colonize the required areas. You basically need to high tide every tile or go for coastal areas, and at some point you're gonna have a problem to get more coastal areas. So honestly, not my strongest relic to go for, yet not completely useless, because it can help you out quite a bit. But in general, I would recommend rather focusing on the other parts of the Kraken Clan. And with that, we're actually at the end of the video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that I may have helped you to make your first clan choice in Northgard. If you enjoyed the video, maybe consider to leave a like down below it, and maybe see you back in the next one. Bye bye everyone, ciao!